What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumbass, like and subscribe hype. So I just finished listening to Dirt and Sean's show today, and the last thing they said about stuff was, they were talking about whatever, all the stuff. They're talking about, Asha doing her thug thistle, going in, correcting stuff, all the layouts and all that stuff. And then they mentioned the ID team had put out a message, a press release, I guess, and they're saying the stuff that you usually say, but they also said our team is now the size of what it originally was when we did Doom 2016, right? And I was like, oh, okay. Instead of like doing the math, I'm like, the math doesn't matter because 2016 was a banger, and so okay, right? And they said, oh, this how many people got, and there were only this many people. I'm like, honestly, it doesn't matter. The same group of people or the same number of people made 2016. Was 2016 any less than because they had less people than, the next Doom and Doom Eternal and Doom the Dark Ages? No. So, but that's not even that's reassuring. That means that Asha sees, oh, how big were you when you made that? And why are you this big? And I'm looking at, that's still a dope game. This game is good too, but why are there way more people here? There's too many people here. How many people making coffee? Y'all fired. I'm just saying. But the thing I wanted to say, IGN, they're a pile of, I was gonna say a bad word. You guys can fill in the blank. They're a pile of whatever people. Not all of them. I love Brian Altano. I love Max Scoville. There's a few others. Miranda Sanchez, she's nice. The other dude that's on whatever. But look, Ryan McCaffrey is a bag of something. Because if you read the ID release, right? If you read the press release, it's positive. There's no negativity. It's just like, yeah, we're smaller, but we're about the same size. We're gonna continue to make these dope games because we love this and blah 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 blah. See you later. See you at QuakeCon. Yeah, boy. Right? It's all positive. All like, okay, yeah, cool. And Ryan McCaffrey got to come out his face and say this still doesn't whatchamacallit, talk about if the whole EdTech team is let go or blah blah. I'm like, it's like, is it a mandate for you to constantly have Sony shaft all the way down your throat? I'm just saying, that's what it seems like, because you can't just say, hey, all right, cool. They seem optimistic. No, you can't do that. Always has to be Xbox bad. Always has to put the negative thing on it. I'm not saying him. I'm saying, well, him in this instance, obviously. But I guess, like I said, IGN is part of a network that I think has ties to PlayStation somehow, some way. I gotta do the paper trail and figure it out. I think I remember or something like that. I know PlayStation, Sony owns. They own some publications in Japan. I believe that's true. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It does matter, but for this conversation, we're focusing on IGN. We're focusing on Ryan McCaffrey. Ryan McCaffrey shouldn't be an Xbox anything. He should be a pony. He should go to Podcast Beyond. The reason why Podcast Beyond is a better podcast, a better show, it's not because it's about PlayStation. It's because Brian and Max, they are hilarious. So they can do anything. I liked them when they were doing like the toys and stuff. Man, they're just good. They're I was gonna say the odd couple, but then, they are odd. They are odd, but they are the perfect match to do anything. So put Brian and Max on the Xbox show. Put Ryan McCaffrey and whoever else go over to, because you're honestly a pony in Xbox clothing. So you might as well just change all your shirts to blue and get your ass over there. And just let's see what happens. Maybe you'll feel more at home. You don't have to, yeah. Then you can relax your throat a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Pause. But it's frustrating. This is the frustration that we have, fans, enthusiasts, have about the media industry, about the video game media industry, and why I would say a majority of us fans are like, yo, why? You know, do you guys literally have a mandate to help destroy this company? Are you getting paid by Sony to help destroy this company? That's my question. I want to know, can there be an investigation? Can an actual journalist, not these motherflowers, can an actual journalist come out and investigate what the hell is going on with all this media bias? That's what I want to know. Because then we could, turn the mirror around. We could look behind the scenes and see what's going on at all these places. Look, honestly, it's about clicks and all that stuff. But if he was smart, he would follow the zeitgeist. The zeitgeist is Sony bad right now. I don't know if he was paying attention, but Sony kind of messed up. It's not even a generational mess up. It's like a company existence mess up. It's like, yeah, we were good, and then we did that one thing, and then we were good again, and then we did that one thing, and it just erased everything. It's like, yeah, nobody cares anymore. Sorry. Look, like I said, any other company like Nintendo, they you know what? I'll give Nintendo credit. When they mess up and they know they messed up, they like, all right, we messed up. Here's a cheaper price for the 3DS. All right, we messed up. Here's some games. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what they did. I think they gave you games, or they had a list of games from the 3, because they said, I think initially the 3DS wasn't backwards compatible, or it wouldn't be compatible. I forgot what it was, but it was mainly the price. It was too expensive, and people were like, yeah, nah, bro. And they were like, oops, nobody's buying it, and we gotta do something. And then they did something. But Sony is not that anymore. PlayStation is, how many times have I said, this is not the same PlayStation that y'all think it is. This is not your PlayStation. This is Hiroki Totoki. I started writing the second verse on this song I'm doing, right? And I like it. I like the second verse. I like the second verse better than the first verse, honestly. I gotta figure out the ending a little bit, but it's like, okay, all right, I kind of like it. I like the rhythm. I like what I did. Anyway, Hiroki Totoki is in it. Spoiler. And I'm just like, yo, I'm looking at PlayStation. I'm looking at Sony, and I'm like, I understand that they understand that their brand is strong. I understand that they know that they have loyal customers. I also understand that word of mouth, zeitgeist, narratives, all these things play into... Listen, Xbox. All us Xbox understand that this narrative game that Sony's been playing for decades is about to flip on them. But they don't understand it. They think they're impervious. They think they're invincible. But they're not. No one is invincible. I always said, man, they're at the top. They're at the top. You can't be at the top forever. This does not work that way. And so you'll be at the top until somebody kicks you off. And all it takes is one mistake, one miss-up, one slip on a banana peel, and someone else to be there to take advantage. And Xbox is literally setting up to destroy PlayStation right now. And like I said in the last videos, I have faith in Asha and Matt and whoever else, Stein, everybody else, to make the right, like, so far they've been making all the right moves. Like, I understand right now they're in the middle of doing all this re-upping, but yo, this thing that Sony has did is not going to go away. People will not forget. Once again, it is up to us to remind everyone daily that Concord was the biggest failure in the history of video games. Thank you, Sony. And no physical discs, no buy. I guess that's what people are saying now, but I don't like that one. I'm gonna try to make up something better. But yeah, I'm gonna work on my song. I'm gonna try to finish it this weekend. I'm pretty close. I'm not happy with the hook, but I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it fly. I'm gonna go back and probably re-spit the bars, because I think they're a little subpar, because it's basically like first draft. So I'm gonna respit it, making I still gotta mix it, gotta mix the vocals, they're a little bit off. But yeah, it's I got maybe, I don't know, maybe 8 bars left, plus maybe a better hook. But yeah, I'm gonna work on that this weekend, and then next week I'm gonna finalize it, and I'm gonna have to do some. I gotta, in the meantime, in the between time, I'm gonna figure out a way to like probably just do a visualizer or something and throw some little clips and stuff inside, just to have some type of visual component with the video, and also it'll be a lyric video too. So I'm gonna put the lyrics up too. So that's the plan. I think I can do that. I think I can do that within this weekend and the next week. Yeah. And so yeah, and Sony's not gonna fix it by then. So because they got their mindset. They done did it. This has been the worst ever, and they try to say anything. They try to, put out any type of tweet. Everybody's killing them. Domino's UK still killing them. I'm like, yo, this is glorious days. Y'all don't realize it's been years that they've been pulling these shenanigans, right? And now they did something. It wasn't even Xbox who did something clever and said, oh, snap, they got them. No. Sony shot themselves in the foot, shot themselves in the leg, shot themselves in the ass, shot themselves everywhere. Like Cheddar Bob. That's his name, right? 8 Mile? Cheddar Bob shot himself in the PP, whatever. I don't know. But yeah, man. Lotto. Tank top screaming Lotto, I don't fit you. That's the best battle rap. Is that the, I'm trying to think. There have been better battle, like if you watch Tangent, 8 Mile is a dope movie only because the battle rap scenes in the end, right? But and Lotto was a good one. But if you watch a lot of Eminem's early real battle raps, I watched the one where Eminem got lost actually. And this one dude, I don't know who it was, but this dude, he did Heineken. He took the word Heineken and split it up, letter by letter, and did a rhyme, and it destroyed. I was like, damn. That's some Letterman shit right there. But I was like, and that's what made him win. So, but you can't deny Eminem is one of the best MCs ever. Y'all can fight me on that, but yeah, he's up there. He's up there with many. But anyway, back to video games. But yeah, man, look, IGN and all these other freaking, was it Kotaku or I forgot who. There's a couple of other sites that were talking shite and just going for negative Xbox news as opposed to negative PlayStation news. Here's the one thing I'll say. Maybe they were kind of doing an experiment. They said, okay, look, we know there's a lot of PlayStation negative news, right? So let's do a negative Xbox news. Let's do I don't know if they did a negative PlayStation news, so that's the only thing that I would have to look into. But if they did both, then I would say, okay, you know what? I'll allow it because, well, once again, it's a business. So they're trying to look at the engagement with these posts. So if they say, okay, here's the negative Xbox news amid all of the Sony shenanigans and failings and everything, which one did the most? That's where I'll give them, that's where the caveat lies. Once again, I didn't look into it, so I don't know if they did the other side. I don't know if they did the blue side, but it doesn't matter because Twitter's annihilating PlayStation. They try to erase the content, whatchamacallits, and they keep uploading new ones and stuff. The user notes or whatever, I forgot what they're called. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I mean, Ryan McCaffrey's been rubbing us Xbox fans the wrong way for years now, and it has to be something else. It has to be something. And I'm sure he'll say, well, it's because I love id so much and I don't want to. I'm like, look, if you love id, then you will appreciate what Asha's doing because she's cleaning up the mess that Sarah and Phil left. Now, Sarah and Phil, they did their thug dizzle. They made Xbox bigger. They made it stronger. They made it what it is today. But at the same time, there was a lot of bloating and waste. And that's the thing. It's like too much waste is, you have to have an efficient machine. Like, you look at Steam, right? How many people work at Steam? Not 1,000, not 2,000, not 3,000, like 300 people maybe at Steam, at Valve. And they're making all the money. They're making so much money, it's ridiculous. And when you're thinking about like Asha, what type of person she is, what type of manager, what type of CEO she is, she's looking at success. She's looking at Steam. She's looking at id 2016 with the first Doom. She's looking at Call of Duty. Now they're gonna lose some jobs too. She's looking at all of the success. She's looking at Forza Horizon. She's looking at all of these studios that live under. She's looking at Minecraft, money. She's looking at King, money. I'm sure she's looking at Blizzard, probably money too. And she's saying, why do we have these successes over here and these failures over here? Why are you guys failing? Why? First thing is inefficiency. If it costs you $1 million when it should cost you 10,000, that's inefficient. Now, of course, that's just a simple ratio, an example. But if you want to expound or expand upon that idea, $100 million versus $10 million. And look, $10 million is a lot of money. Okay, so if you want to do the math, like how many people worked at Compulsion, right? And then, like, let's step back a little bit, right? So when I say she's looking at these studios, right? A recent and perfect example is Expedition 33, right? They had a very small, like, I think it was like 33, whatchamacallit, I think that's why they named it 30, I don't know. But let's just say 33 developers, the main studio, and then they did hire some, some outside vendors, third-party vendors, some contract work, if you will. And she said she's going to still do that, but she's cutting that by 50%. So if you have a small studio, like what it is now, like 60, 70, 80 people, that's enough to make the foundations of the game. And then you say, okay, well, what do you need? What else? How many other contractors do you need to hire, and for how long? And let's say it's an 18-month term. It's like, okay, well, we need people who know this engine, which should be because they've had people before, and 18 months, that's enough time, right, to work on what you need to work on, right? You're going to be building pots and trees. Well, they got speed trees, so probably not. Are they trees in I think there are some trees in Doom. No. Anyway, well, Quake is kind of rumored to be the next game, so that'd be interesting. But yeah, I see where she's coming from, and like I said in previous videos, she's cutting the slack, and yeah, some people were fired probably because they were getting paid too much. She's looking at bloat. I don't know if she went through with a fine-tooth comb to see, what their credits were, what their credentials were, what their work is. If you have a portfolio, why you worked at this studio, let me see, what have you done? Okay, that was dope. You get to keep your job. What have you done? Everything I've done, they didn't use. Get your ass out of here. What else? Here we go. Like, all artists are not created equal. I can draw, but I know I'm not the best artist. I know that 1,000 million people better than. There's a dude on YouTube. His name is Sam Does Art. He's Asian. I think he's Chinese, maybe. He's American, obviously, but I think his heritage is Chinese. But anyway, he's a great YouTuber. Go check him out. Sam Does Art is his channel, and I love his art. His art is like, I might have to buy some. I'm like, yo, I don't know if I want a commission because that might be big money, but maybe I will. You know what I'm saying? I think I might want to do that because it's that good, right? And so I know for a fact that I'm not as good as him. No way in the world. I could probably copy what he does, and I can make it look like it, but that's copying, not tracing. Copying. Come on, son. And it's part of this discussion that people aren't saying. Like, say, if you suck at your job, Is it okay to get fired? Is it okay for your bosses to fire you? If I mess up at my job to the point where it's a fireable offense, I can't be like, nah, man, it's not fair. It's like, no, I messed up. I'm out. That's how it works. That's what it said. When I signed a contract to get this job, it says if you mess up real good, guess what? You out the door. And I said, all right, y'all gonna pay though. Y'all paying? Yeah, as long as you don't mess up. All right, choop. You know, and it's in stone, it's in paper, and they can't change, you know, what's there unless it goes through the union and stuff, and that's different. But, you know, we had that discussion. So part of it is that. And that's where I say I hope she went through with a fine-tooth comb and vetted and went through and checked out what these people are doing, who they got rid of. I'm sure she like cleaned the slate of all the contract workers to re-up later or something. So, you know, and it was the end of the fiscal year, so that's when they would probably do that. Maybe, depending on when they hired them and stuff. But, you know, there's a bunch of moving parts that we aren't privy to. We aren't privy to all the information. And so us jumping to conclusions and making these assumptions and saying these things are kind of half the knowledge, or not all of the complete knowledge, is a little irresponsible, especially when you work for I would say arguably the biggest video game media site, IGN, and you're just talking shit. You know, you don't know. You even have insiders and stuff, and you don't know. Why don't you know? You are a journalist. You should have people on the inside. You should be able to talk. You should be able to call up Matt Booty or whatever, say, yo, what's the deal with it? Blah, blah, blah. I just want to know. I want to get set the record straight. Instead of going, I don't think it doesn't, you know, the tech team, what happened to them? Like, shut your ass up. Man. I wish I could jump through the internet and slap a bitch. Because that's what you sound like. I don't like using that word. It's a perfectly good word. It's in the dictionary. So I used to have a little chihuahua. She was a female, technically a bitch. I used it properly there, so you can't get me on that one. Besides, we're 22 minutes in, so I don't think is that a bad word? If it's anyway, it doesn't matter. Sorry. But yeah, man, it's still, they're still frustrating me, and I try not to pay attention to them, and I try not to read I do not read them. Only reason why I knew about it is because Dirt and Sean went through it, and I was like, oh my gosh, why? So I had to say something about it. But you know, this is gonna kind of be a slow rollout. The saving grace for Xbox is that PlayStation messed up so bad, so hard, and they are refusing. They doubled down and slapped their phallic member across all their fans, virtually, digitally, obviously, because it's not physical. So I'm like, wow, they messed up so bad that Xbox is safe for a while. And the thing that Xbox is doing, Asha, I give her credit. She's doing it, and she's being honest. And she's being straightforward. She's not saying some mystical, magical, safe for work or safe words so she can cover her ass later if somebody decides to misconstrue what she said initially. It's like, no, she's just speaking plain English that we all understand, and it's matter of fact, and it's hard. Pause. But it's still better than what PlayStation is doing. PlayStation is treating y'all like shite. PlayStation doesn't care. I mean, they literally basically said they don't care. They said it. You know, we all know these you know, I mean, we're going to repeat this over and over again. We know these corporations don't really care, but they kind of have to, because that's how they win favor for the customers in order for them to buy their product. So to win the hearts and minds of customers, you have to do certain things. You have to say certain things and come through with certain things. And if that means you're just playing the game to get the customers, and we can say, oh, they care. I mean, they care to keep us as customers and get that money from us. So they kind of do care. Not about our feelings, but about treating us right so that they aren't the bad guy and you don't go somewhere else. And a lot of people that were blue are starting to look a little green. I'm just saying, a little aqua, starting to just look like teal real quick. I'm just saying. aquamarine. I'm just saying, starting to look green to me. They transforming. Speaking of Transformers, I need a Transformers game. Come on, all right. So whatever. There's a whole bunch of rumors about that stuff. And like I said, remember I said, we could talk about rumors if they're juicy, whatever. But honestly, when it's like something serious, like closing studios and stuff, let's just wait. We know we waiting for the homegirl to say what she need to say. Let's just wait. And guess what? It wasn't as bad as everybody said it was. And that's another reason why I hate the media, because they doing anyway. Sorry for the rambles and blambles. I appreciate you hanging out. Hit me up in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Ryan McCaffrey's punk ass talking shite. IGN. Only 3 people. I'm gonna put Miranda up in there. Miranda, Brian, and Max. That's it. Everybody else can kick rocks. No offense to anybody who I just forgot your name, but mainly it's about Ryan and hating him. he's the only one. Anybody who has like a giant following and a giant influence on media and stuff like that, and when they're irresponsible with their reporting because they suck and they just want clicks, they kiss my ass, they kick rocks, and they're dumbasses. That's all I gotta say about that. It's whatever. But anyway, I appreciate. I'll talk to you on the next one. Till the wait.